It's
I woke up
pretty.
early too.
Yeah, I feel peppy
Yeah.
today.
I had weird dreams and I woke up at like I set my alarm for 7 because I was like, dude, I'm gonna get up early today. And I woke up and it was like, well, it was probably 7:09. But still, I woke up. It was good. I
No,
I
that's
did
awesome.
good. I
We're
took a
also live, by the
shower.
way.
Oh, dang. Well,
We've been live
great.
for a little bit. We're gonna have that. We're gonna keep that in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my hair feels good.
Yeah, it
New
looks good.
conditioner in
I
it.
need to shower. I need to take a shower.
Yeah, you do. I can
Shut the
smell it.
hell up! You don't know nothing, weak ass beard
All
boy.
right, great. So, we're
Um,
live. All right, what are we? We are. Hi, I'm James.
and I'm Joe.
And
This
this
is
is.
productivity and procrastination.
That's right. We're just a couple of guys trying to get productive. Stop procrastinating.
And I'm Joe.
Oh, yeah. And we're currently working on our first project, codename Project Pancake. And we're still working on that, as far as I know. I'm hoping there's an update, though, today. We're going to find out.
Mm-hmm. We will find out.
And this is episode what?
20.
Really? I thought it was.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Episode 20.
Boom. All right. So, Joe, you texted me quite like oddly the other day.
I did.
Saying,
I
I have
texted you
things to
oddly.
like talk about. So
So-
I was like conspiracying my mind, going all sorts of
Ooh,
places.
let's go over what you had a conspiracy about.
I had no idea what you were.
You had no
gonna
idea. You
talk
didn't have a
about.
single
No,
idea.
I don't speculate like that. I just go, okay, this is like the spectrum of what it could be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just didn't let my mind think about it.
Okay.
Because what's the point of wasting my time thinking all these variables? So anyway, yeah, that's the way I think. So
All right. So, my face is one. I was talking to my brother yesterday, and he's just watched like all the episodes.
okay, nice binge watchers.
Yeah,
That's
he
what we
binge
like.
watched. Yeah, he watched all 19 episodes.
Okay. Wow, he must be bored.
I think
Is
he's
he
doing
locked
it.
in prison? What is he doing?
Maybe.
All right. So, I don't. Yeah, what's going on with the work?
So
Do
he
tell.
brought up an interesting point, and it's actually in one of his comments as well. He's saying that it becomes less and less about goals as it goes on, and there's a less accountability that we hold to each other about completing our goals.
Oh, I see. I was hoping nobody would actually scrutinize us and give us constructive feedback.
And I mean, he's right though.
I know. I know he is. Because I thought it myself too. I think my mind has been allowing it. Because that's the procrastinator that I am.
So I want to go back to our roots. I would like to rewind.
I hold your brother accountable for this
That's fair.
so that he knows.
I think he'll be very pleased with himself. So, cause like, I feel like we were much more productive in the beginning when we had like a set list of goals. There we go. I almost said the sh word.
No, I was like,
I know,
what?
right? All our viewers
Okay.
would shit their pants.
He snuck it in there. You see how he did that?
Yeah, I did. Can't help himself.
I feel
What a
less
fucking
of him.
monster.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think we need to go back to our goals. I think we need to start keeping each other accountable again
Okay.
about not
Yeah.
completing our goals.
You're right. You're right.
Because our progress feels like it's stagnated, and I think that may be the cause.
You're probably right. Oh.
No, and we have to have specific, completable yes or no goals, not like arbitrary ones that happen.
Okay. That are easy to, you know.
Like if you want to make yourself tough goals, that's totally fine. They don't have to be easy and achievable. I suggest they be even easy and achievable. But if you want to make yourself tough goals, that's fine. But there needs to be an articulated completion, like a binary yes or no.
All right. Well,
On that note,
I agree.
nice. I'm happy to hear that. I'm excited. Let's talk goals this week.
Okay.
Now, last episode, we had talked about transferring the dopamine. How did it work? Did you actually feel like you were able to transfer that dopamine over, or did you get a chance to write? Because I don't know. I saw you on a little bit yesterday, but
I didn't necessarily need the dopamine. I mean, I set up I cleaned off my desk finally again.
yeah.
Went through, have my notebooks now sectioned completely. We have to-do list, near me now. And I feel like I have a good morning routine now. So now, and it really I didn't need a, like in my mind, it wasn't any problem just sitting down writing.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I think I didn't have goals.
Oh.
Like I have it all set up. I have it all ready to go.
But
and
no
in
direction.
my mind. But I didn't have a goal.
So like getting in your car, you're ready to drive somewhere, but you don't have a destination.
Exactly. And so because of that, I didn't do much writing. But it wasn't that I didn't want to, and it wasn't that it was just like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready now, but I guess I haven't just flicked the switch yet. Like, I think the pieces are here, and maybe this was perfect timing for the whole goal thing, because I feel like that's the missing element now.
Nice. Okay, well, I'm glad that we brought that up then, because yeah, it's important to get those taken care of. Now, you said you had planned on making a habit of it. Well, that was one of your goals this week. Were you able to accomplish that? Like 2 writing sessions, or because I think that was your okay.
Like I attempted it, but I didn't even remember what my goals were, so I didn't really follow anything.
Okay, so now let's dig into that some more, because this is what we did before, and I think it was good, and it really made us examine ourselves.
All right.
And I'm not picking on you.
I played a lot of games.
Yeah.
I played a lot of games with my family. I played with everyone, and then when our daughter wanted to be productive and get things done, her parents decided to start their own file.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I know. Heather and I were we were sitting on the couch, and she's telling us, I'm going to get some drawing done. I'm sorry, I can play, And we're like, Heather turns to me, she's like, James, where did we do our daughter wrong? You know that she wants to be productive and not play games with her family. So yeah, there's that.
That's funny. Well, sounds like she's got her priorities right. We need to work on ours.
Well, she has such a good influence to watch. She's like, I do not want that to be my end result.
I don't want to be that guy.
These.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a goal. And do you think the only obstacle, so like your goal was to draw, or no, sorry, excuse me, not draw, to write twice this week. Do you think a lack of a direction was the biggest culprit, or do you think like just time management because of video games was?
You know, I even set this morning up, but I gave myself a pass again. I'm like, it was enough this week just to be ready now. It's really quite sad. So there is no, now that we're on goal week, re-goaling, I have no excuse now. It's like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Okay, so good. I did end up accomplishing my goals. My goals this week were pretty easy, though, to be fair. But I set them up that way. I said that I wanted to draw other stuff, which I did, and then I wanted to work on page 2, which I did, which I'm happy with. Now, I do want to do some more extensive goals. I want to feel a little bit more productive. So let's talk. Oh, there's one more thing that Jason mentioned about the comments. And you can actually see them, but the rest of the world can't. Give me just a second. It was specifically about... Oh, yeah. So one of the comments that he said was, this is less about goals. Seems like the pattern is changing on episode 9. Which I agree with, because it did feel like it slowly became less and less about goals and more about other stuff. Which, I mean, it's good to talk about other stuff, but I think goals and... Because it seems like we got the most productivity out of goals.
Well, we're definitely learning. And if somebody sees the patterns, that's where we learn too. So
yeah, because we need that feedback. Because, I mean, this feedback, right, like, from my brother who supposedly watched them all, he just noticed that, like, hey, they're being less and less about goals.
Yeah, and maybe we were avoiding it. I mean, who knows? But you're right. We need to change so that we can get some production done.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, hearing him say that, it's like, yeah, okay, we have been slack on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm actually really happy that he did mention it, and I'm excited. So like so if you're listening and you're like, oh, I have some comments too, definitely leave them, because we might not agree with you, because I mean, we're people and we have different opinions and stuff, but we will definitely talk them over and consider them. Like I consider myself to be a very open person, and I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Okay. So the comment that he said that we misconstrued, because he watched the episode where we talked about his comments. He's like, I feel like how Joe has something to motivate him on his notebook, which was just like, my drawings. Like, so I think I spoke about that in that episode, that like looking over and seeing my drawing motivates me to work on it more. He's thinking, is there something that you could use, like a quote or something that you could put nearby that inspires you to write?
Yes. I mean, what's sad is I have like 50 things like that
Okay.
scrolling endlessly on my computer as my background that I've neglected to read for the last I don't know years. So now it's just like, oh, it's just my background. I don't even
So
read
you
them
feel like
anymore.
that kind of stuff just like loses its
Um,
like
well,
draw?
I think they. I mean, every note I have, every post-it note, all those things. If nothing's done, they just become part of the background.
Mm-hmm.
But the thought is good, but I think it's the goals thing is more important for me because I need to have something accomplished, and I need to define it
Yeah.
and go from there.
And I think that's just going to build up motivation or yeah, motivation, get that snowball rolling, and we're going to be in a better position. Like it's not about like setting up your I feel like it's not about setting up your life to be the perfect writer. It's about writing as much as you can or as much as you're able to, and that's slowly going to increase and you're going to eventually just become that. I don't think there's like a on and off switch to become the perfect writer.
Well, you do not have enough imagination then.
Okay. All right, so that is my spiel for today is those two things. Guess how many people we have listening to us on Spotify? How many subscribers? You have any guess?
um, 30.
Oh, close. 28.
Oh, well. Who dropped off? See how we are.
Nope. Nope. Two didn't drop off.
Well, that's great. Hey, we're small time, but yet
We're
we're
growing.
doing it.
Yeah.
So, that's good. And, well, I have really no excuse. I know what I need to do. I've allowed games to just dominate this whole scenario, and now I'm going to have to change that. Now that the goals thing's been,
Yeah.
thought I had that well concealed. Now it's been brought to light, so I can do nothing to hide anymore. Thanks a lot, Jason.
Okay. So, um, I want to talk my goals, and then we'll get to yours. So I want to draw other things. Ooh, I'm gonna do this so that way you guys can hear me writing. I want to work on page 2. You getting that audio feedback? No.
Oh yeah.
And then what else do I want to accomplish this week, specifically towards our goal? We've also been slacking on meeting up too. It was a weird week because of 4th of July, but
Yeah, it was a little bit of a weird week. But
I think let's try not meeting up and just focusing on our goals and see where that takes us. And if we have issues with our goals, then we start meeting up.
okay, that's fine.
So that way we have the accountability for our goals, because I think that's going to be a big deal, is like accountability, and then looking into why we didn't accomplish those things and putting the other person who didn't accomplish them on the spot. So that way, there's that
Yeah.
level of
Versus mode. I like it.
oh man. Ooh, I know. I could put a well-defined finish sketching So it's working on page 2, and then finish sketching one of the boxes. So that way, like, one of the boxes is just done. And that way I can, like, having a hard set goal, I think, will be really nice. So I would have something concrete that I'm working on. I think that's a good one. Can you think of anything else I should add to this?
Sorry, I've been thinking about my own stuff.
I'm
not
gonna
listening to anything you've been saying.
Work with colors a little. So the idea behind this one is that I open up some program and I try creating stuff without a line, without black, and I'm creating something just specifically with colors. I'm not using black, I'm not using outlines, I'm not using any of that. Just colors. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but I want to get more practice with colors. That's something I'm lacking as an artist. And I think it's only going to benefit our project if I have more comfortability with colors. So I'm going to work on that too. But nice. my sole focus is working on page 2. And then for like relaxation time, I'm going to start drawing other things.
Okay.
So I feel satisfied with those goals. There's some self-development and project development. Okay, what kind of goals do you have? I have one if you are stumped.
Oh, let's hear it.
I would like to see a beginning of like a short story from our world. I mean, not necessarily we're going to use that one for a comic, which we might not. But just, a short, like, start the beginnings of a short story from our world. And if you have a few of those short stories by the time we finish Pancake, it means we can pick among them and find which ones we like. And not only will we have more lore, we'll have some options on what our next comic's going to be and all sorts of things. And it doesn't have to be about our party. It can just be anything.
Okay.
If no, you don't have to. I just, just throwing stuff out there if you're looking for something that's project focused and in your wheelhouse.
I will consider that. My general thought was, okay, I do want to write in something. And I was wondering what to write in, whether it should be in our world or not. I will concede that's a possibility that I will do that.
No. We need to have a goal written down. So if it's not something you want to do.
But I do. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be writing. On what I wanted to maybe, work on some rando novels or or this. I just didn't know how much I wanted to telegraph our world at this point. So that's the only real thing I have. I mean, if I write in it, I may not read it out loud.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to share it.
I may read it just to you.
Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine. Like, it's not about...
Because we don't really want to, say too much about the first project before before people can actually get, to the point where, purchasable or, they can get enticed by it if it's too far out on the on the thing. It's no good to anybody. So that's the only negative. But I may actually write in it, like you're saying,
Yeah,
but just not
and
read it out.
you don't have to share it.
Stream here.
I'd like you to write down like the actual goal. Though. Like, what do you have written down? I think the wordage is important.
Okay, well, I want to put word count for each day that I put in, and I want to write for multiple days. My crazy goal would be like to write to have accomplished that for most of the days.
You should do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. You should write those as like individual days and cross off days that you actually wrote on.
Oh, okay, like make myself an actual calendar little thing.
Just like, yeah. It's just Mon to
Really?
Led, Thur,
Because I don't know how to.
Sat, Sun. Maybe probably not Sun because you don't plan on Sun.
Never.
Abbreviations are important, James.
For
this is probably why you have no time.
Thanks
you never
for
abbreviate.
breaking that down for me. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll even take your advice on the whole abbreviation thing. I don't even have to write it out.
Innovation, ladies and gentlemen. Innovation right here.
So, yeah, word count and what days I actually work on it. And
I don't feel like word count's fair.
Yeah, okay, I know you don't.
No, hear me out.
What are yours? I mean, it's like, I want to work on a picture. Okay, well, how do you count that? You count it as a picture, right? Or something? Well, I have words that I'm dealing with, so I'd like to quantify a little bit of how much I did. Like, if you did like 3 pages, you'd say that. You'd be like, hey, I worked on 3 separate images here. Well, I'm just counting what I do, man. It's not a big deal. Not like...
Okay. It's fine, but if it becomes like, I feel bad because I didn't write as many on this day as that day, I don't think it's beneficial. That's my only concern about it.
Man, at this point,
I want it to be a positive growth in a direction, and rather than like beating yourself up for, like I want it to be a positive, exciting thing to complete.
The words aren't the goal. The words are a estimation on how much I did. If I write 14 down, it's pretty much assumed I didn't spend hours on it.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Many more, it's like, okay, he worked a chunk. He worked a chunk. It's just a way for me to estimate how much time I actually, put into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
okay.
That's it.
And if that wants to be your benchmark, that's totally fine. I only have concerns that you're going to beat yourself up because, James, I'm going to let you in on a secret. You might not know this.
Yeah, okay.
You're a perfectionist.
Yeah, well, I'm a pathetic perfectionist.
No, you're I believe that your perfectionism stops you a lot of the time.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's like you can't be the scrappy, we're going to put this together. Oh, what's he doing? He's just leaving? He's gone now. No.
I just needed to refuel a little bit here.
Refuel. Brought to you by Red Bull.
No,
get
it's
yours
not brought
now
to you by anything.
At your local gas station. At your local dairy salesman.
If there's one thing I wish you would change, it's bringing up product, man. Anyway, yeah, I do like Red Bull. My daughter's now addicted.
Have never drank one, I believe.
Oh. Well, We get it at Costco in the big packs, so it's a little bit cheaper than spending. I would probably never buy this at full price. But anyway, so
I was talking about your perfectionism. So
yeah,
it has a big part in your paralysis. It's easier not to do things than do it perfectly.
yeah, it is. At least I'm doing something perfectly if I do that.
Playing Diablo 3.
Boom.
Boom, bitches. Because, yeah, you do a good job.
Diablo 4 would probably be more accurate.
Oh, yeah. That is probably
for my
more accurate.
perfectionist side.
No, I'm just a goof side. Okay, so I feel like we had a very productive day. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we close it out?
Well, I do feel like we've been a little slack. Okay, probably a lot slack. Ultimately, we began this whole thing, with the realization we wanted to do other things in our life besides work for someone. We wanted to work for ourselves.
Yeah.
And that dream has left me. Not the dream, like it's just out of my mindset.
Right.
This has just become, I'm working towards stuff, yada yada. But the real end, I want to wake up and this is what I do and I make money from it, and I do not work for someone else. I work for, my quote unquote fans when they maybe exist. So that's what I want to work for, and I've forgotten that. And it's easy to take the time and just have fun every day, especially when you're loving playing 7 Days to Die with your family, I tell you. And now we're playing Versus, so it's even more fun.
Whoa.
I know. It's fun.
Hardcore?
Yeah, kinda. Well, I mean, delete all. Like if you have anything on you, it's deleted instantly if you die.
That's crazy.
It's pretty fun. Heather got so mad at me yesterday. Okay, I gotta tell you this. Okay, so we spent like an hour meeting just the very first day, and she was waiting for me in this big city. I'm like 200 meters off, and she knows. And so she's like, I'll just go in this tier 1 here and just, kill all the guys and start looting it while I'm waiting for them. So I go in there, I got my torch, and I open, it's really dark in there. And I see there's a zombie in there coming up to her. And I'm like, I turn off my torch. I'm like, whatever. And so she's like, I'm like, well, are we going to go find a house? Because she's going to find a house and I'm going to find a house next door. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, I'm looting. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I run into the kitchen, and start taking stuff. She's like, that's my stuff. I killed all these zombies. And, I found a nice cooking pot. And then I turned around and there's the zombie. We're like in this little cul-de-sac, they've got like a breakfast bar kind of going out. And so the zombie, she's right in back of me, like complaining that I'm taking her stuff. This zombie is right next to her, starts wailing on her. She doesn't even notice what's going on. And I just jump on the counter and leap out of there. And she's like, help me! And she's bleeding to death. She dies right there. She was so mad.
Oh my gosh.
So mad. She's like, we're restarting. I would have helped you. It's day 1. He was mad, like legitimately pissed. She had like all this good stuff because she spent the whole day with me. I'm just running to her.
Oh man,
she's been all day. Inventory. She had guns. She had all this stuff.
Oh man,
she was
got
pissed.
Scammed.
Yeah, it was great though. I wish I had it on video. But anyway.
Dang.
Yeah, so anyway, we're having fun. Having fun with it. And I think my wife hates me more now. Legitimately was pissed. But anyway, yeah. So it's hard. But what I've got to do is I've got to wake up, you know, and go, okay, it's work day. I gotta get work done. And then after
Yeah.
that, I
I feel
have to be
like
able to
that's
do
my
that.
best. That's what's been working for me too, is like get my work done and then play. To me that's what works for me at least. Is making sure I've accomplished my goals for the day. Like I kind of like feel like I'm sated and I've got a plan for getting these things done during the week. And if I can check off like something and then play, I feel that sense of like relief that I'm okay to play right now because I've worked towards it. And so I just need to make sure I'm working on that. There's this less guilt if I'm playing after I've accomplished something.
Less guilt. You feel guilt at all after you accomplish something?
Well, I could be doing more. I could always be doing more.
Oh, how do you quantify the amount? You don't have a word count, Joe. What do you do?
Oh,
How,
feeling.
you know, I think you need a checkbox that goes, I think I did a good job today. Kind of a box. Like, yeah, you
I
can
don't
say, oh,
I
you
don't
don't
want that
want
box.
you don't want that box?
It's not quantifiable and I will never think I did a good enough job.
That seems a little off. I can quantify, even as a perfectionist, I can be like, I know when I
Yeah, it's the amount of work. It would take me
good.
8 hours to feel like I did a good job, like to quantify I did a good job. And I don't have that kind of time.
But you don't have that kind of time, so you can't. It's all relative to the amount of time you have, isn't it? You base your judgment on yourself about with how much time you have.
Oh. I don't want that unquantifiable checkbox. Because it'll be like, what is good? What does good job mean?
All right. Okay.
How do I define that? Am I a good
So,
boy?
so your goals are what? Boom. How many?
My goals,
What are
yeah,
they?
my goals are draw other things. So just anything that's not project related. I have an idea for a almost city scene, but it's gonna be not post-apocalyptic. What's the future one? Cyberpunk. It's gonna be a cyberpunk themed city scene that I'm gonna be drawing on my just in my notebook, and then I want to work on that a little bit. I've been using my ruler to draw city streets, and parts of buildings will probably end up being used with this because that's the reason I got it. Is for those specific things. And then so that's what I want to work on. Like that's the other things, and maybe some people, draw some people, and then work on page 2. So just a flat work on page 2, and then finish sketching one box. So like there's 2 boxes in page 2, and then there's like the background, and I want to finish for sure one box, like the sketch of it, so that way it's ready to be inked, and I'm happy with it, and that.
Okay.
And then work with colors. So my handwriting's really bad because I was trying to make very elaborate. So the idea is like I'm drawing something or I'm painting something essentially rather than drawing something. I'm painting. I'm using colors and maybe like and trying to like get color harmonies and practice using colors, maybe do some research on colors. I don't exactly know what exactly the specifics is, but I want to basically draw something only using colors. Just for practice with color theory and all that. Because it's going to just help us in the long term with our projects. I think those are very quantifiable
I may have some
goals.
good websites for that, actually.
I would
mean,
love to get those from you.
When we've done a lot of work on logos and things like that, that could help out researching like logo color harmonization kind of stuff. Google that type of thing. There are a few good websites. I might even have a few bookmarked or something where you can just basically go, I like this color. Boom, it creates harmonizing awesome color combinations for you. Things like that.
Yeah. No, I'd like that. Because, yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. And then what do you have written down as your goals?
I am going to create my calendar day thing, and I am going to have word count for each day, and I want, I'm going to say 4 days, which
I feel like it's a really healthy amount.
That's more of the week than not of the week.
Right.
I think I want to start with that. 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do the draw every day. Should I have that in there too?
Well, you can do whatever you want, Joe. I'm doing 4.
I remember...
You're not gonna make me go all.
No, because I remember I used to do the same thing, and it was actually very helpful to make sure I've been drawing every day. I think I want to do that. Oh, this feels good. James!
At most, right, 6 days a week. That's it.
That's a lot of days a week, and I'd be very proud of you.
I'm going to start with 4. Let's see if I can work myself up to that.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Did you do it this way too, right? So we started with Friday?
I mean, today is a day to start, so
like
it probably begins with today. Yeah.
Okay. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
This is how you learn your week.
Days of the week. We've got Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and finally Saturday.
I think that's all that I have. You?
Okay. So your goals are basically work on getting your calendar set up for your word count, and then writing. We're both artists, so it's like I forget which medium we use. And then working on drawing or writing at least 4 of the 7 days.
Yeah.
Or 4 of your 6 available days.
Yeah, it's yes, I think I'm probably going to make something that's more permanent. Maybe I'll even laminate it so that each week I can start over and have that kind of as a staple for myself. If I add goals, then I add goals.
I would like you to keep your word count as something you could track over time.
Oh yeah, I mean I will. I'll just transfer it over to a
because I think
document.
You'll end up seeing like an increase over time as it becomes your norm.
Oh, quantifiable increase. I see.
The only concern,
that's something you could do. Wouldn't that be great?
No.
Oh, you don't like those numbers? I forgot.
Numbers are hard and scary. Just became an artist. I don't like math. It scares me. Talk to my programmer side. He's not here today.
All right. Well, I think I'm good to go.
Yeah,
and,
I feel.
What did we learn about?
Go ahead.
Now, what did we learn about ourselves from this? I think I knew this. My procrastinator side of me wanted to avoid this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been brought to light.
Yeah. I've been pushing for goals, but you've given me a lot of fight on them. And so I'm glad we had a third party to bring it up. that I just needed that
See
that
how he
outside.
blamed it on me, as if.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm innocent because I'm probably not, but I think I'm excited for this next week. I'm excited for Friday when either A, we get something done, like a good healthy amount done, and B, if we didn't, like, what obstacles did we face and how can we overcome them? To me, that's the brilliance of this strategy. I'm excited about this.
All right, so the next week we have to basically read our goals, like what we had, and then whether or not we accomplished them or whatnot. I think that's something we should do.
Have as a staple. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way there's that certain level of accountability that really like and it should be celebrated. It should be celebrated when you do accomplish your goals.
Okay.
But I don't think you should be booed or dissed for not. It's not.
Oh, I will definitely diss you.
That's fine. But I can take it in stride. I want it to be an exploration of obstacles and what we can do to overcome them rather than attacking someone for having obstacles. Because we're both growing, we're both learning, and we're trying to figure out what works for us. And I'd like to see if this works for us.
Well, I'm glad I'm ready to work on it.
I've excited
been putting
for you.
off pulling that trigger. Everything has to be right in the peripherals, but
The perfection peripherals.
but not the actual site, target. So, yes, awesome. Thank you for bringing up what Jason had said, and hopefully, for anybody who has listened to a lot of this, maybe they've seen the same pattern, and maybe you were wondering if we'd ever break it. Well,
thanks to a viewer.
Week, we will see if we can be productive.
All right, so what should should I stop it? No, we're gonna stop it. We got to see something quippy. You had a really good ending. You had a really good ending. So maybe we just, maybe we end it here, having this ramble from me.
Sounds great.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to say before we go?
You already ruined that, Joe.
Huh. Well, let me see what the episode title is. James
never push stop.
James's shirt is orange. He's trying to disguise himself as not a peach. Episode title. Mic drop. Mic drop.